Do dividend stocks actually make you money in the long run? I put $1,000 into 10 different high yielding dividend stocks and ETFs, and today we're going to track them so you know what actually makes money and what doesn't. And I'll tell you, I was very, very surprised by this account, and I will probably continue to be surprised until the end of the year, and we see what exactly made the most money and what tanked, because we have some that did terribly. So we're going to jump right into this video. If you like investing, stocks, dividends, ETFs, all that fun stuff, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, and let's jump right into the account. For those of you that are new to this challenge, we're already in month 10. I didn't do an update last month. Things got too busy. The account was just kind of flat. So in the 3-month, we're flat, which is why I was like, oh my gosh, we did get some dividends, which is great. But if we're on the 1 year, we can see we have grown. We were almost to like a 10% return, which again is not great. I'm going to be honest. That's not what I expected from this account. And then we took a crazy dive yesterday. The whole market's been all over the place, so I'm not subscribed. I'm not surprised, but still it's disappointing. Let's talk about what's been doing well and what hasn't. ARCC, we're up 16%. Phenomenal. I love ARCC. JEPQ up 18%. SPYI, I should say, not SPY. SPYI is up 17%. CONY is up 7%. Not great. Main Street Capital up 28%. One of my largest holdings in my main account, which I'm pumped about. 3M is actually insane. So 3M did a stock split after I purchased the stock. First it dove and dropped like 30-something%. Then did a stock split and did a spinoff company with SOLV. And so even though it says we're up 20% on 3M, SOLV, which is down here, I'm pointing, but you can't see my finger, is 16, almost 17% extra onto 3M. So we're up almost 40%, which is insane. 38%. 3M is the winner still. Vici Properties had good earnings. I think it was above earnings, what they were anticipating. We're up 5%. Again, not great. Leg is the loser of this account. It has always been the loser. It cut its dividend by 90%. And then the craziest thing, this shows how you have to diversify, because Leg was like a 5 or 6% yielding, already beaten down stock. We'll actually show you how terrible this has been. So it was already beaten down, and then it tanked again after purchase. So my purchase price is actually, it doesn't even show, 25. I bought it 25. I bought like up here. It had already dropped a bit, and I was like, oh, it tanked. It'll do good now. It didn't. But I bought 3M and Leggett & Platt because they were the dividend kings. They had 50 years of dividend history and dividend growth behind them, and so they were supposed to be a hedge and the safest bet. They did terribly. Both of them, and now 3M's the winner and Leggett & Platt is the loser, and I really can't even believe that. It's so weird to me. But we're down 54% on Leggett & Platt, which is just insane. MPW dropped like crazy. We were positive, and now we're down 3%. At one point, it was up like 15%. Tesla is down 12.3%, and then SOLV is the one we already had. So the market, like I said, has been all over the place. We know from the beginning of the year, it tanked down 10%, and then we were going to be up 10% until this last pull-off. But we have seen some pretty consistent raising, even with Leggett & Platt. This is the drop that Leggett & Platt crushed us, and then we had to build our way back. Without Leggett & Platt, we'd be sitting at a pretty decent amount of money. Nothing too crazy, but I think we'd be roughly, 15% or something like that, which closer to 15%. We still had some other losers. TSLY is still down. But that's it. Everything else besides MPW is down a little bit, but besides those three, everything else 70% positive rate. And MPW kind of traded sideways for a bit. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump into the dividend tracker, and it'll tell us what paid out. We'll do the last 2 months, and so we can actually see all the dividends that were paid into the account. Drip is on, so these are all reinvesting. And so since I started with $100 in each of these and the account is up, we are still positive. But that's why I'm just throwing it. That ARCC is up 16% because it was $100 flat. Robinhood has fractional shares. Now, if you guys are interested in the weekly dividend ETFs, I have a full playlist I'll link at the end of this video about those because they've been doing really well and the dividends have been insane. So I'm shifting some of my portfolio to the weekly payers because I like them so much and because I think the audience likes them a lot too. And I like to track it and let you guys know how I'm doing with stuff. But let's jump into the tracker for this account and see these insane dividends. We did get some really solid dividends that I'm happy about. So let's go ahead and slide right over there. So I've been using the dividend tracker and I'll be honest, I don't like it. And there's nothing against this company. If you guys know them and you use it, let me know if you like it. But for me, it doesn't work. And the main issue is that I can't figure out how to turn drip on. There is some pretty insane stuff that you can do on here, but it's all behind a paywall, and I'm not paying for this just because I'm not really going to use it. Also, they have the equity like miscalculated. It doesn't make any sense. I have to update these prices every time, and it's still not accurate. The only thing that is accurate that I've seen is the yield and the dividends that are paid out, because I do have the number of shares and everything in, so the dividends is accurate. So we're looking at a near 27% yield, which is crazy. Now, a 27% yield with drip on, we should be well above, but we have seen some crazy erosion in some of the value of these ones, mostly LEG. So, like I said, this thing hasn't been accurate kind of from the beginning price-wise, but I do like that the yield's on here and you can kind of see all of this. So what we'll do is you can even check the dividends right here. I really don't agree with this. Coney has a 0 for the dividend grade. I can understand. ARCC has such a phenomenal dividend history, so I'm not sure why this is below Leggett and Platt that slashed their dividend by 90%. So, like, how are we grading this? Leggett and Platt is awful. Main Street Capital is a 50 below Leggett and Platt. Again, Main Street Capital has not had a dividend cut in a long time, and their dividend has grown exponentially. 3M is an 81, having cut their dividend as well. MPW, I understand that. SOLV, I don't even know if they pay a dividend. And then the other two they don't really have. Vinci's high, which I like, but again, I'm not sure how they calculate that. We can also see the weight of everything in the portfolio. Leggett is down so badly because they suck, to put it lightly. But we'll go to the payout calendar, and we'll start with last month's for September because I didn't make a full video on it. So in September, we had JEPQ, and that paid us $1.21. So some of these are weekly payer, not weekly. Some of them are monthly payers, and some of them are quarterly. So we'll see a big difference between these, and I'll try and point them out. So we had $1.21 from JEPQ the first week. The second week, we had Coney and Tesla, which always pay out second week, which I love. We had Coney paid us out a nice $8.88, which is a little bit higher than we've seen. And Tesla paid $5.17, which is interesting to me because that's higher than we've seen in the past too for Tesla, even though the price is a bit lower. Main Street Capital paid us 62 cents. Again, that one is a monthly payer, so the payments are usually lower. And 3M paid us 65 cents as well, which is really, really funny. And they paid quarterly. Then we go to the next week, and we had Main again because they had a special dividend of 62 cents, which is crazy. They pay so many special dividends. I have a full video out on Main if you want to use it to retire because it's consistent. They have a ton of special dividends, and I really like it. I am definitely a little bit biased. And then we had SPYI, $1.18. Again, another monthly payer. And ARCC, which pays quarterly, but paid $2.62. A really, really solid dividend income. And then total for the month, $21.10. So you're getting a decent return. What is that? 2.1% return. Can't really complain too much. And then we'll go into October, and it looks like we have even more from this last month. But we had JEPQ payout, and that paid out $1.19. Then we had Vici, and Vici paid out. That one paid out quarterly $1.39. Definitely happy with Vici. The price is up a little bit. So that's one that I would hold as a growth one. It hasn't performed as well as I'd like, but I think in the long term that it will. If you don't know, I think I have full videos on Vici. Go check them out. It's a really, really interesting REIT. They own a bunch of properties on the Vegas Strip, like Caesar's Palace kind of properties. Stuff that you can't just, it's not just going to go away. It's always going to be well known, probably worldwide. And then we had YieldMax TSLY again with a huge payment of $6.92. They keep increasing, which I love, but I'm surprised because, again, we're down like 13% on our NAV. And that's, I guess we'll see how it goes. We had MPW pay out $1.68. They've been in turmoil lately. They dropped from like $6 to $4. And I usually play MPW. When it drops to $4, I buy more. And every single time it's worked for me. But I'm just getting a little bit lazy with it, to be honest. I might buy more. If I do, I'll probably let you guys know. But so far in this account, it's traded sideways. In my personal account, with options with NPW, I'm not even joking. I think I'm up like 46% or something like that. I have made a killing. I have made some crazy percentages on it, and it makes me nervous holding that much in a stock that is that risky and all over the place. Then we had Coney pay out on the third week, which is really weird. 9.45. Why is it paying out so high? I don't understand. It's almost back to the double digits like we've seen in the past, and I guess the price is up. So the price is up, the dividends are up. Who knows? Leggett & Platt letting me down with a nice 20-cent dividend. Absolutely insane. Cannot stand Leggett & Platt. They ruined this challenge for me, to be honest. It's my fault for picking them, but still. And Main Street Capital coming in clutch again with a 62-cent dividend, which I love. Then we had SPYI coming in strong with $1.20. One thing I like to note about SPYI is this thing has grown really well. When I first put in $100, it was yielding about 10%, and so it was paying me $1. Oh no, it was yielding more than 10%. It was yielding closer to 12. So it was actually paying me $1 every single month. And since then, it's gone up. I remember when it first paid me $1.01, $1.02, $1.04. So it is growing, and I love to see that it's actually growing and doing well. There was a lot of speculation between SPYI and QQQI. I own both of them, and they have both done well for me so far. A lot of dividends paid out. I haven't checked the NAV erosion recently, but they are both green in my portfolio, and I think they're up like 5 to 10% each. I've owned them for not even a year, so I'm okay with that, especially with the dividends. I think drip is on, so I think they're just building and building and building, and hopefully they continue to do that and they keep those yields up, which it looks like it has just by what I track with SPYI. So looking at our yearly dividend forecast, it is cool how they do this. We can just see, let's see if we go back, is it going to shift? No, it's not, but we can see for October, we did have this nice high payment, $22.65, one of the higher ones, and then we're going to drop in November, and then December should be up, and then January. I'm not going to hold this through January. I will be selling everything out of this account in late December after I do a wrap-up video and talk about how many dividends were paid out. It's going to be a long video on this account, but I think people want to see that. Let me know if you do, if you want to see which ones were actually worth holding, in my opinion. How did it work out? And then I'm interested. I might do another one of these challenges. I have the Robinhood account set up. Let me know if you want me to do a challenge on, should I just do more high yielding dividend stocks and ETFs? I already have a challenge on the weekly ones. Let me know. I'm really curious. I do love doing this and I love watching it grow. And if you guys want to see it, I will do it. So let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. And let me know what high yielding stocks you want me to do. There are a lot of new ones I've been watching that yield like 10 to 12%. So I would be interested in buying those and steering away from the dividend kings that are going to cut their dividend and ruin everything. But yeah, so I'm going to be selling this. Let me know what you think about those down below. Drop your favorite high yielding dividend stock. I'm going to be aiming for probably 9 to 12% yields if I do re-up this challenge. And I always appreciate you guys. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you for watching the video to this point. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.